Hello everyone and welcome to the January new moon reading in the sign of Capricorn. My name is Jennifer with Akamud. For those of you that are new, these new moon readings are going to be a pick a card post, same as last month, just due to time constraints on my end. But for those of you that are new, the new moon readings are good from new moon to new moon. So these are energies or messages that are going to be transpiring over a course of a full month, basically the middle of January to the middle of February. So go ahead and take a deep breath and pick a card that calls to you, and I will put the timestamps down below. And as a reminder, if you find that the reading resonates with you, check out the collective energy clearing session that I do every month as well. All right, talk to you soon. Hello group 1 and welcome to your new moon reading for the month of January in the sign of Capricorn. You guys picked this red hematoid quartz for this reading, and that is normally a crystal that I go to for grounding and protection. So as a reminder for those of you that are new, I have already pre-shuffled and meditated with all the decks so that we can get started right away. And the card that you pick is going to be the signifier for the center of your reading for this new moon reading. All right. Let's put you guys here. The center of your reading, you have volcano volatility. On a conscious level, you have karma DNA. Subconscious level, you have crystals focus. Card for resolution is emergence. And outcome is music harmony. All right, so in the pre-shuffle, I did see the volcano card come up a lot. I also was getting a lot of messages of doing things differently, of doing things in a practical manner, in an efficient manner, but also staying very grounded. So at the center of your reading, you could be feeling maybe ready to explode, for a very literal image, but also like things are very much out of your control. There might be a feeling of chaosness on the inside that you're experiencing. On a conscious level, you have karma DNA. So some of you guys might know that you are consciously working through some things. You are working on your soul lessons. You are working on your wounds. You are working to bring balance and harmony and restoration to your life. On a subconscious level, you have crystals, focus, and this is a message coming in to help you focus a little. It's coming in as a reminder to be very mindful of your thoughts. It's being very mindful to use your thoughts to steer you into the direction that you want to go into. But also it's tapping into potentially needing more clarity on a situation to help you feel better about your choices. Required for resolution, you have emergence. And so this is talking about allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to emerge, allowing yourself to let go of things that no longer serve you, to allow your growth. It is talking about getting yourself into deeper alignment, getting all parts of yourself into harmony, getting your heart, mind, body to all head in the same direction instead of feeling that chaosness or volatility on the inside. So let's pull some tarot to clarify all of these energies. What I like about these readings, or this reading, I should say, is that it does end with harmony. So there's very much the opportunity for you to shift into a space of harmony with yourself by the time the next new moon comes in the middle of February. Center of your reading, we have letting go of 8 of Swords and 4 of Swords coming up. And so what's really good about this card is if you've been feeling stuck or trapped or unable to move forward, it is limited to things of your mind. This is here to remind you of how we can become trappings or trapped by our own thoughts. This is here to remind you that your blocks are of the mind, not necessarily something physically restraining you or holding you down, but something that you can wiggle or shimmy your way out of. And the solution to this is your 4 of Swords card, and 4 of Swords card is asking you to rest, to sleep, to meditate, to engage in spiritual practices, to pray. Even if it's just sleeping would help you in this case, because it's giving that thinking mind a break. It's asking you to pause, to slow down. And that's going to make space for your intuition to come in. It's like the more stressed you are and the more ungrounded you are and the more worried you are, the less your intuition is going to come through, the less your inner wisdom is going to come through. So again, I need to slow down, I need to rest, pause. How the 6 of Swords is being released, the Magician is coming up. And again, this to me is talking about you might be feeling like you haven't been able to move forward or away from a difficult situation. You might be feeling, again, stuck. You might be feeling like you haven't quite mastered a certain lesson or a certain dynamic. And you have the Magician coming up, reminding you that just because you haven't been able to do it as of right now does not mean that you can't. Just because it's a difficult or a long lesson or whatever that might be for you doesn't mean you don't have the tools or the resources to grow past it, to understand it, to learn from it, to even take responsibility to start manifesting what you do want. Instead of letting this one lesson just should I say block you or keep you from getting what you want, the magician here is to remind you that you can also proactively start working or manifesting or dreaming or creating, moving towards what you do want. 6 Wands is being released under focus, and 7 of Cups coming up. So 6 of Wands is talking about not having that success, not having that forward movement, not having the accolades or the recognition or the triumph that you've been looking for or wanting to move towards. Instead, you have 7 of Cups coming up, and that is talking about feeling possibly confused, unsure, feeling like you don't know what's the right choice, feeling like you don't have choices, even feeling so overwhelmed by the endless choices in front of you could be making you feel out of focus as well. So you do have this subconscious energies that are also, I'm going to say, like slowing down your progress. Queen of Pentacles is coming up. And King of Cups, Queen of Pentacles being released, King of Cups coming up. And so this is talking about some of you might have been neglecting your physical health. Some of you guys have been neglecting financial responsibility. Some of you guys have been neglecting both. And so this is a reminder to be very mindful of how your health or maybe even your financial well-being is also affecting you at this time. You have the King of Cups coming up, and that is here to remind you that you are working towards mastering your emotions. You are working towards coming into harmony with your thoughts and your emotions. Instead of feeling polarized by your thoughts and emotions, or instead of feeling controlled or ran by just one thought, by your thinking mind, should I say, or just your emotions alone, you're learning to integrate both of those energies and you're learning to master them. And with the Queen of Pentacles also in the release, you might have been looking for financial success at this time, but instead it's more an energy of self-growth. It's an energy of you emerging, of a new way of being. Yeah, you have King of Pentacles is being released and the world coming up for you. So again, this to me is coming in as a double reminder of don't center like financial or monetary success. Don't measure your success by financial or physical tangible things. The success, the way that it's showing up right now, is you. It's being manifested in how you are experiencing life. It's being manifested in the new you that is emerging, in the harmony that is coming into your life versus the volatility that it has been. And slowly but surely, you do have the world coming up to put an end to this volatility, to this lack of stability that you've been feeling. Any money that has not manifested for you is because you haven't been able to create that stability from that inside. It's almost like there is a, I'm going to say, addiction to the extremes, an addiction to the yo-yo, the back and forth, the instability, the chaos, maybe even finding that energy exciting, but we are working to letting it go because that's a new you that's emerging. That was a lot. All right, let's pull more tarot to clarify all of these energies. All right, we're going to look at the energies that are being released, and then we'll look at the energies that are coming up for you guys, or girls. We have the King of Spring as being released, and this is King of Wands in traditional tarot. So again, if some of you guys have been looking for success in career, success in money, and you haven't quite experienced it yet, it's because there's other things that you need to sort out first. Ace of Summer as being released. Again, some of you guys have been looking for a new either romantic connection, or some of you guys have been looking for a new way of having like emotional fulfillment or a new beginning in love even, and that's also being stalled and delayed at this time. You have the Strength card as being released, and so this may be a very trying time for you, and so this is also here to remind you of your inner strength. And I'm going to read this to you. It says, the grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges, the power of kindness and forgiveness, time to embrace how wonderful you are. And so this is talking about you being very gentle with yourself, being very compassionate with yourself, but also being very truthful with yourself, about what things you can let go of, what things you might be needing to forgive, or people even needing to forgive. You have Seven of Autumn in the release position. And again, this to me is talking about not having that financial success, maybe even feeling a little bit impatient or anxious, or wondering if any of the work that you're doing is going to pay off. And again, reminding you that this lunar cycle is not about seeing financial rewards. This lunar cycle is about making space for a new you to emerge. You have Seven of Summer, which is Seven of Cups, as being released. And I am going to read this one to you. And it says, no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from over-analyzing your options. So what I like about this card in this position is that it's talking about the confusion that you might be feeling, or that you would be feeling, about a choice you need to make. And so this is saying that that confusion is not going to be there for long. You will be moving out of it, and you will be letting go of that indecision or that overwhelmment to experience more harmony. And I love this. At the center of your reading, you have balance coming up. And it says, take everyone's input into consideration. Merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time. There is no need to rush. And again, the letting go of impatience, the letting go of, I'm going to even say, like, fear of missing out, like somehow fearing that your opportunity is going to leave you, or that you're going to miss your goals, or if you don't have all your financial success in the month of January, somehow you did something wrong. And this is saying, no, take a deep breath, pause, slow down. There is no rush. You are being encouraged to come into emotional balance and harmony at this time. You have the Five of Spring, which is the Five of Wands. And this says, opposing goals arising from differing opinions, feeling at odds with yourself, at others, overly ambitious people. And again, this to me is talking about feeling that pull between heart and mind, feeling like you have polarizing thoughts or polarizing desires, and being in that space of confusion, of not knowing what to choose or what to trust. And you have Seven of Winter coming up, and it says, there is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. And so with this card, it is telling me that you might be in a space of not even trusting your own feelings, or being afraid of being betrayed by your own feelings, or even being afraid of making the wrong choice. And so when you do make a choice, you should make it from a place of being centered, of being balanced, of having to have thought something through, of not feeling rushed or cornered or pressured, or feeling like you're making a choice out of feeling trapped, right? That's why this message keeps talking about slowing you down, having you pause, be gentle, because you're being pushed to a spiritual awakening. And this says, change the way you're looking at the situation, embrace your own uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. Again, the transformation. And I love how they have like the wings that you would see on a dragonfly as well. They look very similar. And so again, the reward, the outcome, the importance is you in this reading, your awakening, your emergence, your harmony, your balance, your understanding of yourself. And you have Eight of Spring, and I love this. It says, stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. And so I'm getting that a month from now, depending how well we are able to navigate these energies, depending how much you're able to slow down, prioritize your well-being, stay grounded, things are going to move. You're going to be able to put a close to this cycle that you've been working through, and then you'll have that forward movement that you've been wanting, and you'll also be more in a space of much more harmony versus the volatility that you've been experiencing. All right, so let's pull one chakra card to close out your reading. And it is the Emerald Stone. It says wisdom, luck, independence. It is a heart chakra stone. It says emerald is the stone of divine strength and discernment. It is a sacred talisman of the power and knowledge you already possess. You have pulled this card because you have the wisdom and confidence you seek. Meditate with emerald to summon your inner king or queen and bring fortune into your life. And so I definitely think that this card is talking about you being guided by your inner wisdom, you having deeper awakenings of who you are. But emerald is also a stone of both luck and money and love. So some of you guys might still be doing some heart healing during this cycle. But that's also going to help bring in the money that you want as well. So you get to have them both. But again, there's things that need to be sorted out for you in the meantime. All right, group one, I hope these messages were helpful to you. And remember to check out the collective energy clearing if this resonated with you. And we'll see you guys at the next reading. Bye. Hello group 2, and welcome to your new moon reading for the month of January in the sign of Capricorn. You guys picked black kyanite, and I work with black kyanite to clear energy, and I also work with black kyanite for protection. So let's go ahead and move into your reading. The card that you guys picked is going to be the center signifier of your reading. And also, as a reminder for those of you that are new, I've already pre-shuffled and meditated with all the cards so that we can get started right away. At the center of your reading, you have strength. On a conscious level, you have grounding. On a subconscious level, you have promise. Required for resolution is creation. On outcome is communion. Group 2, like, this is a very beautiful reading. This is this feels like a lot of reassurance coming through for you guys. With strength at the center of your reading, you might have been going through a lot. You might have been feeling a need to be strong, a need to keep going, a need to not give up, a need to hold your ground, hold your vision, hold on, don't let go. A lot of emotional strength, a lot of physical resilience. On a conscious level, you have grounding, and that to me is talking about, you know, the importance of needing to stay grounded. You know that it's very easy to let your thoughts run away from you and run the show. So you know that there is a need to ground your energy, especially during this lunar cycle, to help you out. What you might not know is that there is a new beginning bubbling up for you. There is a new moon at this time, but also it is initiating it is initiating more than you can imagine. You are being encouraged to allow yourself to create during this cycle. Allow yourself to continue to dream. Allow yourself to continue working on your creations, whether they're artistic creations, personal creations, creating the ideal lifestyle that you want. Whatever it is, you are being pushed to sustain that creator energy, and that is going to put you into a deeper connection and alignment with spirit. You are being pushed and guided towards a spiritual connection, a spiritual understanding, a spiritual leveling up. Some of you guys might be healers, and I do see this card, this Eagle Communion card, as a message for healers. For those of you that are not, it's more of a spiritual awakening, a spiritual leveling up, hearing your intuition on a more deeper level. However this shows up for you, it is new. You might not be consciously working towards this. You're just being encouraged to work on your creativity, your dreams, to continue working on that area of being a creator. All right, let's pull tarot to get clarity on all of these energies. So I'm understanding how Black Kyanite would help you during this cycle, in the sense that it would be clearing away all the negativity in your life. Negativity that shows up in the way of self-sabotage or negative thoughts or any self-defeating thoughts that may no longer be serving you. Yeah, at the center of your reading, you have 10 of Wands is being released and 2 of Cups coming up for you. Some of you guys might be healers. With 10 of Wands being released, this is talking about you carrying a heavy burden. It's talking about you feeling overwhelmed, burned out about a certain situation, about a certain area in your life, and you are ready to let it go. You've been needing to be strong for way too long, and at this point it is now weighing on you, and you are ready to release it. And you do have 2 of Cups coming up for you, and that is talking to me about healing. It is talking to me about reaching balance between your masculine and feminine energies, being much more centered, much more complete within yourself, and even mastering a difficult lesson for some of you. Releasing is the Page of Cups. Coming up for you is the Lovers. And so again, letting go of something that might have been emotionally weighing on you, but also coming up for you is that balance of heart and mind. So not even heart and mind, but balancing like the physical and balancing the spiritual as well. In this card, you see that like the Lovers have both their feet on the ground, and they also have kind of like their heads in the clouds, or their heads are like spiritually overseen. And so that to me is talking about having that balance between both, integrating both parts of yourself, deeper integration of your intuition and understanding of self. Letting go is the Queen of Pentacles. Coming up for you is the Hanged Man. So some of you guys might not have been seeing the financial reward or financial success either at work or in your career that you've been wanting, but understand that any delays that you have been experiencing is to help you look at a certain situation from a different perspective. It's been to help you see things differently, understand things differently, even if it has been very difficult, even if it has been very torturous. For some of you guys, I'm also getting that there's going to be deep healing to your romantic sector or your partnership sector, because you also have the like couples, partnerings, right? Yes, it's very much within you to balance both your male and female energies, but for others of you, there is deep healing and understanding and growing happening for you in that area of your life as well. You have the Four of Pentacles as being released and the Knight of Pentacles as coming up. And so this to me is talking about asking you to take inventory of where you are still clinging, of where you're still holding on, of where you still might be holding a death grip to your own progress, and it is affecting you financially. With the Knight of Pentacles coming up, you are being encouraged to allow yourself the ease of slow and steady progress. This is not a time for you to like rush and burst through and force anything and make it happen. This is talking about slow and steady wins the race, slow and steady progress, slow and steady movement, slow and steady financial growth, at least for this lunar cycle. I'm not saying your whole life. I'm saying from middle of January to middle of February, these are the themes that are having a bigger impact in your life. You might be wanting money, but there's other type of healing that's happening for you. Again, it's not financial rewards and accolades. It is a spiritual growth. It is a spiritual leveling up. It is you being pushed into the arms of spirit, and that is showing up as you finding joy, enlightenment in that connection. It is finding a peacefulness, maybe even an aha or an epiphany for some of you guys. Again, letting go of any financial burdens for this cycle. I'm getting that some of you guys have been on this path for a while and you might be feeling tired and a little burnt out. I'm not sure if you can keep going, but this one's saying like keep going. There is a shift happening towards the end of this cycle. So we're going to pull a little bit more tarot to clarify all of these energies. Right, you have Nine of Summer is being released. Nine of Winter is coming up. All right, guys, you're almost there at understanding a cycle, but there's still some things that you need to let go of. I'm getting for some of you guys, with Nine of Summer being released, there are, this is really like involving your dating life. It's letting go of old thoughts, of old beliefs that are tied to your singledom, or that are tied to aloneness, or that are tied to maybe even your freedom for some of you. Because you do have, I'm like there is there's relationship healing coming, and then there's like a wholeness and a unionness within you that's coming. Two energies are being played out and you're kind of like learning from it. With Nine of Winter coming up, it says unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. Being very mindful of your fears that might be bubbling up for you at this time. Being very mindful, again, of not letting your thoughts run away from you during this cycle. Having clearing practices in place to help get you grounded again as you navigate. Being released is the Six of Winter coming up for you is the Queen of Spring. Some of you guys might be feeling like you haven't been able to move away from a certain situation. Some of you guys might be feeling like you've been stuck in a certain situation, or you haven't quite been able to leave it behind in the way in which you wish. Instead, you have Queen of Spring coming up for you. And so this is Queen of Wands energy, and Queen of Wands is both creative and magical and intuitive. And so you're being pushed and encouraged to step into these energies at the time. Where can you practice your creativity? Where or how? Where can you amplify your spiritual practices at this time? Because it will support your healing during this time. Being released is the Hermit, and coming up for you is the 10 of Summer, which is 10 of Cups. So being released, the Hermit, is some of you guys might be feeling isolated or alone. Some of you guys might be learning a lesson or a situation with singleness or aloneness. Some of you guys might have been working on learning the importance of independence or aloneness, or relying on your own inner light to guide you. So again, there is a theme of like on your own partnership and wholeness within yourself. But you are mastering this lesson because you have 10 of Summer coming up for you, and 10 of Summer is emotional, the way I read it is emotional success, emotional joy. I'm going to read it to you as well. It says, an emotionally fulfilling life with family and friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. So it's almost like you've been working on having emotional success for you during this time. Being released is Princess of Spring. Coming up for you is 7 of Cups. Some of you guys will also be or being asked to let go of energies that are potentially a little reckless, of energies that are thoughtless or rash, or not carefully thought out. Maybe some of you guys might have like impulsive tendencies, and you're being asked to let go of these energies in exchange of like slow and steady, slowly but surely. You also have the 7 of Cups coming up, and it says no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. Again, this to me is talking about committing to a choice, even if it's a dream, if it's a goal, if it's committing to staying grounded for this entire lunar cycle, but allowing yourself to let that carry you through while you continue to be in a space of creation, and being very mindful of when you're shifting into over analyzing, or when you're shifting into obsessive thinking or questioning yourself or doubting yourself. That's why you have grounding coming in as a message of as an ally or as a tool. Being released is the Prince of Spring, and coming up for you is the 9 of Autumn. And so again, it is releasing of any impulsivity. It is releasing of, I'm like, some of you guys might be fire signs or have fire placements, but letting go of the shadow sides of that, and getting you to move in a way of having more intention and more thought behind your choices. Actually, I read this card wrong. This was letting go of 9 of Summer, which is 9 of Cups. And so to me, this is talking about like you might be having some of your wishes delayed at this time. But on the other side, you have the Nine of Autumn coming. And this to me is actually showing up as a very, it's a very joyful energy, almost like a very proud of yourself energy, maybe even a little bit smug, just very happy with yourself. Very proud that you didn't give up on yourself during this cycle. Very, I'm like just very pleasant with yourself. And it's again, giving yourself full and total credit for what you do manifest for yourself, giving yourself full and total credit for how you navigate this cycle. It is a big cycle for you. It is very personal, but it's also about others and how you engage your others with others and understanding the delicate balance between both of those. All right, group 2, I'm gonna pull two. I'm gonna pull one chakra card to close out your reading. And it is Insight, Honest Regality, Lapis Lazuli. It is a third eye chakra stone. And it says, Lapis brings good fortune, luck, and regal sensibility, invoking your inner queen or king. You pull this card because you need a reminder to walk with your head held high in body, mind, and spirit. Meditate with Lapis to invoke a spirit of confidence, to connect deeply to your past lives, and to speak your truth with assurance. So I definitely feel like all this healing, all this balancing that's happening within you is pushing you into this king or queenly energy where you are much more in your power, where you are much more wise, connected with spirit. It is I'm like, it is a space of growth. I'm out of words, but again, very grounded, very slow and steady, very mindful of using your energy in a creative or creator way during this lunar cycle. All right, group 2, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope these messages were helpful to you, and we'll see you guys at the next reading. Bye. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your new moon reading in the sign of Capricorn for the month of January. My name is Jennifer with Akamood. Again, for those of you that are new, you guys picked Smoky Celestial Quartz, and Smoky Quartz on its own I work with it in order to help transmute energies and raise energy. But with the celestial part, it's also to help you connect to higher wisdom. So I'm going to set this one right there for you guys. And as a reminder that I've already pre-shuffled and meditated with the decks so that we can get started right away. The card that you guys picked is the center signifier for the reading. So let's see what comes up. Well, at the center of your reading, you have radiance, conscious energies, you have synergy, subconscious energies, you have focus, required for resolution is fog, and outcome is dance celebration. Wow, group 3, this is a very it's a very positive and energy and theme that you have going on. At the center of your reading, you have radiance, and that to me is talking about having illumination come through, of having enlightenment come through, of having the areas that might have been confusing to you, of having the sun shine on them to help bring you clarity, to help bring you understanding. So if you've been feeling confused or uncertain or just unsure, there is a reason for this. On a conscious level, you have synergy, and this is talking about you coming into more alignment with yourself. It's talking about getting you on the same page with yourself. It's talking about redirecting you to the right path. It's talking about putting you on a path that feels right to you, even if it's new. But again, it's putting you into alignment on a subconscious level. You have focus crystals, and this is talking about clarity coming in, illumination coming in, being able to see the truth of a situation, having the clear sight, the clear knowing, the clear understanding of a certain situation. While you might have been in a fog, you won't be in it for long. And moving into fog, this is talking about being okay with being in the fog a little bit longer. It's almost like if you've ever driven in fog and you can only see a few steps ahead of you or a few feet ahead of you, but you're relying on like slow and steady progress. You're allowing for things to show itself slowly but surely, and you have all your senses activated, and all like your other senses are heightened during this time because you're moving at a slower rate. You're being cornered into moving at a slower rate so that you don't miss it, is what I'm getting. So this is also pushing you into trusting your intuition, connecting to your intuition, allowing that to guide you during this time. If you haven't checked out my video on identifying your intuition, I'll link it to this as well. That might be helpful for you. But that will put you in a celebratory dance. It'll put you in a celebratory energy. It's like you get your energy back, you feel lighter in your body, you're happier. You might be feeling a little bit heavy right now, but not for long. It's like finally there's some level of clarity or understanding coming through during this cycle, which again, this is going from middle of January to middle of February. So let's pull some tarot to clarify all of these energies. Being released is the World, and coming up for you is the Page of Pentacles. So if some of you might be feeling like you haven't been able to close the chapter on something, like you haven't been able to quite master a certain situation or leave behind a certain situation, and that might be part of the situation that is weighing on you or that has been confusing you. On the other side of that, you do have the Page of Pentacles. So you do have an opportunity to shift into maybe a new opportunity with work, maybe an opportunity of a new way of getting money. But mostly it's talking about allowing yourself to be a student, allowing yourself to start over, allowing yourself to be new at something, especially when it comes to how you get money. Being released is the Three of Cups. Coming up for you is the Ace of Wands. So some of you might be moving on from the holidays. Others of you might be feeling like there's just not enough celebration or joy in your life, or feeling like it's been lacking, or feeling again very heavy, very down, very clouded, very tired for some of you. And you have the Ace of Wands coming up. And so you have a new beginning in your energy. You might be getting, I'm like, yeah, it is your energy. It's again, like if you've been feeling heavy or tired, you have new inspiration, new ideas, new spark, maybe an aha moment, something that just shifts your energy so that you do feel more lighter, more excited, more free. Letting go is the Queen of Wands. Coming up for you is the Five of Swords. So some of you guys might have been neglecting your like your spiritual side, or neglecting your creative side, and letting that fall to like the back burner. And so what that's been doing is that it's been causing more harm than good. It's been bringing up more defensive energies or clouded energies, especially in your thinking mind. Being released is the Two of Wands. Coming up for you is the Five of Cups. Again, for some of you guys, you haven't been able to move on from a certain situation. You haven't been able to make that closure that you've been needing to make. And for some of you, it's very hard to look towards the future right now. It's like you can't really see past your, past your nose, for sake of expression. And that's been really unnerving you, because what it's doing is it's amplifying any sadness that you might have been feeling. Some of you guys might be feeling sadness or disappointment over things that haven't worked out. Some of you guys might be feeling sad over things you might have lost, plans that didn't pan out, things that were taken away. But what this is reminding you of with the Five of Cups is, I'm sure if you can see him, he's upset over the 3 cups that spilled, but he's not even acknowledging the 2 cups that are right behind him. So while having all your attention focused on what didn't work out, you're missing out on what is already there, maybe even what could be. But again, you're having to feel your way into the what's there and feel your way into what could be, because everything's being fogged right now, so it's hard for you to navigate. So again, this is also a lesson in connecting to your own intuition. Being released is the Seven of Swords, and coming up for you is the Seven of Cups. So, what have you been running away from? What have you been unwilling to look at? Is there something in your life that you've been unwilling to face? Probably that situation at the center of your reading that you haven't been able to close out. And have you been trying to avoid it or run away from it or understand what it is you were supposed to learn? So with Seven of Cups, I'm getting that you might be open to looking at it during this cycle, even if it is fogged and confused. You have double energy of fogginess and confusion, and things not being what they seem, and things being hazy. But again, this is an energy of getting you to connect to your own feelings, not so much connecting to what's there with the naked eye. So again, you will have that illumination come through for you. It just depends how much you open yourself up to seeing things. All right. Yeah. Let's pull a little bit more tarot to get clarity on all these energies. Center of your reading, you have 10 of summer. Coming up for you is 2 of autumn. And so this to me is talking about how some of you guys might be weighed down or be dealing with heavy family situations or heavy family problems, I'll say, that might be part of the things that are weighing on you. For others of you, this is just something that used to make you happy, something, it could be your own family union, it could be a relationship, needing to let it go, or needing to put a closure on it, if you will, or wanting to, I should say. And then you have 2 of autumn coming up, which is 2 of Pentacles, and I'm going to read this one to you. It says, bring fun into everything you do, juggling multiple priorities or jobs, and exceptional talent for multitasking. Again, allowing yourself to be new at a new way of making money. For some of you, this might be temporarily juggling 2 jobs, saying that it's okay, or maybe not having to make a decision. It's saying like you can juggle multiple things during this cycle. You have the time and energy for it. Don't feel like you need to make a choice between one or the other. There's other areas that you'll need to make choices in. Being released is 7 of spring. Coming up for you is the Magician. This is talking about you letting go of a very defensive energy, letting go of being guarded, letting go of being, I don't want to say standoffish, of just like holding people at bay. It's a very defensive energy that is being asked to let go at this time, because you have the Magician coming up, and it says you can do anything, take charge of your life, you can manifest what you need to be a success. So this is again a card reminding you of your personal power. It's reminding you that your thoughts matter. It's reminding you to set intentions, and this is a new moon, for what it is that you want to create. What is it you want? What are you trying to manifest? And you have that Ace of Wands supporting this idea for, again, an inspiration, an aha, an idea, something to come through that you can work on manifesting, that is putting you into alignment. So if some of you guys have not known like what you should do, maybe even money-wise, you will have some insights coming up for you. Releasing 5 of winter. Coming up for you is the World. All right, I'm going to read this one to you. It says, walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that's not worth the effort. So some of you guys may be needing to stop fighting for something. This is kind of saying that maybe it is time to let go. Maybe it is time to move on. Because on the opposite side, you have the World. It says a brilliant success, a freedom to go in any direction, a journey that is now complete. So while at the center of your reading, you have that inability, or up to this point at least, to have completed a cycle, to have put a closure to something, to have put an ending to something, because there's a part of you that's still fighting for it or still holding on to it, and you're having this message come through for you. Maybe it's just not worth the effort, and that's going to help bring in that closure, that freedom, that understanding. Again, it's like I'm getting it's a shifting dance of energies. Either the clarity comes first, or the decision comes first, or the trusting of yourself. How it unfolds is going to be independent to each person. And you have the Empress as being released. So again, don't feel like you need to rush through anything or force anything to happen. Allowing yourself to be very gentle with yourself, allowing yourself to be very nurturing of yourself during this time, to be very reassuring with yourself that it's okay that you don't know everything, that things are slowly moving are going to help you. And you have the Justice card coming up, and it says, take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end fair and objective decisions. And so any out of balance that you might be feeling, it's going to get sorted out. Things will work in your favor. You will feel more balanced, and like things were fair or just. Three of Summer coming up, Three of Autumn coming up. So with the Three of Summer coming up, for some of you, you might be doing or engaging in like reckless partying or reckless distractions, or I'm like, yeah, I could just be partying, or I'm gonna say like reckless celebration, but to the point where it's been keeping you blocked or distracted, or keeping you from running away from a certain situation. So again, an openness or a willingness to look at it is also going to help bring in that illumination that you've been looking for. And you do have the Three of Autumn coming up, and it is the Three of Pentacles, and it says, follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do, being compensated for your creative talents. So again, I do think you're going to have like this new opportunity in money, to be a student, to work with others, inspiration, celebration, and energy, a spark, being very mindful of following those dreams. And if it feels like you have to have another job or career to pay your bills, then you can do it both. However, the confusion might be also relating to like more personal matters or more emotional matters, but you're still going to have financial opportunities come through in this cycle. All right, let's pull one chakra card to close out your reading. Yeah, and it's bronzite, and it says letting go, graceful release. It is a root chakra stone. Bronzite has the ability to facilitate graceful mourning and recovery from loss, helping you see the gift in what you must release. You've pulled this card because it is time to let go of the friendship, lover, business partnership, project, or other pursuit that you are holding on to. Meditate with bronzite to cut the vibrational cords of that connection. Set your losses free. Move gracefully forward on your path. So again, this need to let go of a certain situation or someone is coming up as a reminder that it is weighing more heavily on you than you realize. A lot of the confusion and inability to move forward is because of what you're still holding on to. So I do encourage you to work with bronzite in order to help you let go or release any energies or any other modalities that might call to you for that matter. That was long-winded. All right, group 3, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope these messages were helpful to you, and we'll see you guys at the next reading. Bye. Hello, group 4, and welcome to your January new moon reading in the sign of Capricorn. You guys picked the Carnelian Stone card, which I associate with creativity and new energy. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. For those of you that are new, I've already pre-shuffled and meditated with all the decks so that we can get started right away. And the card that you guys picked is the center signifier for your reading and spread. At the center of your reading, you have ebb and flow, conscious energies, you have release, subconscious energies, you have nurturing, required for resolution is reflection, and outcome is rebirth. All right, group 4, what I'm getting from this is that you guys are very aligned timing wise. With the center card being ebb and flow, you are learning or being guided to learn to go with the flow, learn to ride the waves, learn to let things gently transpire and shift and move and guide you. It's a dance of like expressing and receiving. On a conscious level, you have release, and this is talking about you knowing that there are things that are ready for you to let go of. So what is it that you need to release? What is it you need to let go of? And this is an energy of you consciously choosing to let this go. This is not an energy of things being taken away from you. It is a conscious choice of what you need to release. On a subconscious level, you have nurturing, which is talking about even though there are areas of release, that is also creating fertile grounds for new things to grow. The more you let go of, the more new energy you can call in, the more you make space for, I'm going to say it again, new things to grow, new ways of being, new ideas, a new life. Whatever it is that you've been wanting, you're going to have to let something go in order to let something else in. But this is also talking about making sure that you are nurturing yourself during this time, making sure that you are filling your own emotional cup during this time. Because at the bottom you have winter solstice reflection. And this is talking about you needing to be honest, very honest with yourself about what has ended. And then I heard letting dead things be dead, and I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about situations in your life or behaviors that you have chosen to leave behind. And if you haven't quite made those choices, then this cycle is definitely about you having to reflect. And it's not only letting things go, but letting things stay in the past and not resurrecting with you in the spring. It's a time for introspection because, again, we are very much in the winter season right now. And what you let go of during this cycle, even though this is only talking about mid-January to mid-February, it's going to be planting seeds for spring. It's going to be planting seeds for your rebirth, for a growth, for a shift, for something new. But again, this is talking about you being in an energy of letting things come and go, not feeling like you have to grab the tides or grab and control the ocean. All right, let's pull tarot to clarify all of the energies. Being released is the Ten of Pentacles. Coming up for you is the Ten of Cups. So while some of you might be wanting financial success, you might be getting emotional success. And that might not be what you've been wanting to hear, but it's a time for you to also understand rewards that are not bound to the physical, rewards and fulfillment and happiness and joy that can be experienced without a physical item being in your hand. Being released is the Temperance. Coming up is the Hermit. This is talking about how some of you might have been feeling uneasy in the back and forth of emotions. Some of you might be feeling an inability to express what you've been feeling. Some of you guys might be feeling very angry, I should say. And the Temperance here is coming to help temper those emotions, to help balance those emotions. Some of you might have been feeling very chaotic on the inside, but on the other side you have the Hermit coming up, and this is talking about you needing to spend some alone time, some quiet time, to connect to your own guidance, to connect to your own wisdom, to allow yourself to rest, to allow yourself to create space for honesty, for truth, to make space to hear your own truth, to connect to your own light about the things that need to be released, about the things that you need to let go of, about what you've been holding on to for a little too long. Being released is the Knight of Swords. Coming up for you is the Hanged Man. So this is talking about some of you guys might be wanting to just charge ahead and go full speed ahead towards a certain goal or a certain situation, and maybe you haven't quite been able to because you've been delayed or stalled. If you've been beating yourself up for not being successful enough, let that go. It's not serving you. You have the Hanged Man coming up for you, and talking about any delays that you have been experiencing is to get you to see things from a different perspective. Any delays, however hurtful or torturous or frustrating, it's again to get you to see things from a different perspective, to maybe put yourself in different shoes, to maybe see yourself differently, to let go of the stories that bind you to the perspective of yourself. Letting go is the Ace of Cups. Coming up for you is the Queen of Wands. Some of you guys might have been wanting a romantic connection. Some of you guys might have been wanting more like a spiritual level up, but instead you have the Queen of Wands coming up. And so it's like, yes, connect to your spirituality, but also connect to your passions, also connect to your creativity, also connect back to your fire and your passions and the things that excite you, even while you are in a space of introspection, even when you are slowing down and taking inventory of what needs to go. Can you let, or can you tune into the energies, the ideas that excite you, that inspire you, that will give you the drive to keep moving forward or away from what no longer serves you? Coming up for you, or being released, is the Three of Swords, and coming up for you is the Seven of Wands. And so this is talking about, some of you guys might have been experiencing grief or heartache or sorrow or sadness, experiencing like a heaviness in your heart. And again, this energy is being released. Instead, you're being pushed into an energy to stand up for yourself, to stand in your own power, to experience emotional fulfillment and happiness in a way that you might not have thought possible for you. So let's pull more tarot to get clarity on all of these energies. At the center of your reading, you have Two of Summer being released and Two of Winter coming up. So some of you guys might have been letting go of a relationship, letting go of a partnership, and instead you are coming up with a blocked energy. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, indecision is holding you back. Make a choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. And so again, while trying to make a decision, being very mindful of your emotions is going to help you at this time. But again, that balancing, that going like back and forth between something has also been delaying you. Got renewal as being released and Queen of Spring as coming up. And I'm going to read this one to you as well. And it says, review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future, understanding your life purpose, releasing judgments of yourself and others. So again, this is like, I'm getting, it's a renewal in how you see yourself. Like maybe you see yourself as too small, and that could be part of the things that you need to release. But again, there's a shift in perspective that needs to happen. That's why you're also being encouraged to spend some time with yourself, right? And you have Queen of Spring coming up for you again, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between home and work life. These are brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly energies. And I do believe that those are the characteristics or personality traits that describe you, that either you've been suppressing or not fully explored, because you have this card coming up twice. Same card, different decks. Seven of Autumn as being released and release coming up. So with Seven of Autumn, again, you might be feeling an impatience. You might be feeling an anxiousness, maybe even like a desperation of wanting things to change, of wanting things to shift. And they will, but letting that go, because it's not a time to force things right now. Instead, you have release coming up, and this says, let go of the past and ending that makes way for new opportunities. Take time to move on. Again, you're getting the message of release a couple times. You're getting the messages of reflection and introspection a couple times. And again, the letting go of certain energies to make new for the both, or for something new. You have 8 of spring as being released and 8 of winter as coming up. Again, 8 is a card of like fast movement or fast communication or quick messages. And so this is again, no, not right now. Instead, you have 8 of winter coming up, and it says you have what it takes. If only you believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. So you are being encouraged to trust in yourself, to know that you have all the resources that you need. Maybe even a boost in confidence could be helpful to you right now. But understanding that any blocks or limitations that you might be feeling or experiencing are mostly they're out of self-doubt, or mostly they're out of fear, or fear of even trying, or fear of being new at something. Being released is the Prince of Autumn. Coming up for you is the King of Winter. And so again, I'm going to read this to you. I read them both actually. It says cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, kindness to others. So this is just coming in as a message of slow and steady progress, slow and steady shifts, especially from this new moon to the next new moon. Very gentle, very mindful of your thoughts. You have King of Winter coming up, and it says get advice from someone professional and objective, public speaking, unemotional relationships. But this is also talking about knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, and unemotional. So when this is talking about being unemotional, it's more talking about being very logical, being very reasonable, being very objective, maybe even needing to detach from the heaviness of certain emotions, or needing to have a higher point of view from the emotional burden or the emotional overwhelm that you've been experiencing, or seeing that situation from a much more logical point of view. I'm even getting from a mature point of view. All right, let's pull one chakra card to close up your reading. And it is Shungite, cleansing, purification, transformation. It is a root chakra stone. Shungite is a grounding stone known as the Great Purifier. It removes unwanted energies and impurities from people, places, and spaces while healing the lower chakras. You've pulled this card because you need to release any negative residing within your auric body. Meditate with Shungite to free yourself from harmful emotions, filter energies around you, and feel deeper alignment. So again, I do feel like it's talking about, again, a cleansing, a releasing, a letting go of, maybe even working with shungai if you do have some, because it's all shifting you towards your transformation. It's all shifting you towards a rebirth of how you are, of how you see yourself, maybe even how you see a certain situation. Again, that's also a slowing down, taking inventory of where you can let go of control in certain areas as well, and working to boost your self-confidence. All right, group 4, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope these messages were helpful to you, and we'll see you guys at the next reading. Bye.